Hi guys, welcome in this new video. As you might have understood, we're gonna be cooking some really fun things. So first of all, we're gonna be making some pumpkin muffins, which obviously are very inspired by autumn and really do like it, so I'm really happy for cooking some things out of pumpkin, which is the best ingredient for all the fall recipes. And also we're gonna be making a typical Italian kind of cake, which is called Castancho. It's basically just made out of chestnut flour, so it's very good, especially if you like chestnuts. Also we're gonna be making a whole dinner made out of pumpkin in general, but also some really other fun stuff. It was a dinner that I used for the Halloween dinner, but I mean, if you want to make it for any other day like of autumn, it is very good because it really looks good and it tastes amazing. So let's get into it. So starting off with the pumpkin muffins, we are obviously gonna be needing some pumpkin, also some salt. I used the Himalayan salt, 2 eggs, and then some spices like cinnamon because we're not gonna be using sugar, so we need something to make it sweet. Baking powder, mine was powered with some vanilla. The recipe actually included some vanilla extract. The vanilla flavor was actually in my baking powder, and then some oats and the whole flour because I want to make it healthy, and also some milk. As you can see, I'm not using the whole milk but some oat milk to make it even healthier. And then you can use as a sweetener either honey or maple syrup, and I had honey, so I'm using honey and I really like it. So yeah. Also side note, because the recipe that I followed was all with the American measuring system, I cannot remember all of the quantities. The link of the recipe will be down below in the description box if you want to see it. Also I really suggest that website because you can change the quantity of muffins that you want to make, and the site automatically changes the quantity of the ingredients. It's really great. But anyways, let's get into the recipe. So after preheating the oven to 165 degrees Celsius, you have to beat oil and honey or maple syrup, and then add the eggs, then add the pumpkin spices, which for me were half a teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And once you've added that, the salt and the pumpkin puree, you can add the milk and the flour, but you have to add the flour like by tablespoons because if not, it will not be well blended. And then you have to mix. Then grease all of the cups of your muffins, and you can also put on some of them some chocolate chips. On other ones I just put it some rolled oats, others were just plain. And then we're making castagnaccio. Castagnaccio is so easy to make and you literally need like 3 ingredients. So as you can see, I'm putting the chestnut flour into this bowl. Actually my mom told me later that I didn't have to put it in this way. I simply could have put the whole box of flour, which by the way is 500 grams, into the bowl, but whatever. So now here I'm mixing the flour with some water. There's not a precise quantity of water that you have to use. You just have to mix while you're putting water so that it is all well blended. The consistency should be really soft and without any clumps of flour, you know. And then you just have to put it into a pan. You have to put some olive oil on the bottom and also some rosemary if you would like some extra flavor. And then you put the mix into the pan. Then you just top it with some pine nuts and some raisins, and you're basically just done. You put it into the oven with the muffins. I mean, that's what I did, and this was what I got. I mean, it was amazing. It tasted so good. My sister wasn't very excited about it, but then when we cut the muffins, she was excited, okay? Like, look at her, discovering that there is chocolate. For Halloween, I decided to eat pumpkin in every single meal of the day, so here I'm making some pumpkin pancakes. They were great, not the best honestly, but they were great. So here's the recipe. I'm spreading some butter on the pan, and then I'm putting the mix on the pan. Basically the mix was made of pumpkin, Greek yogurt, chia seeds. That's basically it. I wanted to make it very simple. I also added some spices like cinnamon, but it wasn't the best, as I said before. So then for lunch, I didn't really have pumpkin because it wasn't ready yet. But I started making what I was about to eat for dinner. So here you can see me making some vegetable chips. They weren't the best honestly, like the taste test was kind of failed. I'd give them 6 out of 10 just because they were fun to make and they were not wasting anything. So this is what I did. I basically just cut it. I just put some olive oil on them, some salt and pepper. This part was the funniest part to make because it was so good. Like the taste and also the process was so fun. We are cooking the zucchinis as you've seen, and then we are also boiling some vegetables. Then take your pie crust. I mean, you can make it yourself, but otherwise just put it on the table and then take a fork to, you know, make some little cuts. Take the zucchinis and the carrots which we have cooked on the pan and put it on the pie crust. They have to be hot so that the cheese that we're gonna put in them will be melted. And then, since it was a dinner that I made for Halloween, I decided to make a little drawing, and I wanted to make that scary skeleton face. I'm basically taking the second pie crust and cutting off all of the pieces so that it can look like a kind of scary zucchini smile, you know? Once we have that, we can put it into the oven with the zucchini chips, and then we can add the pumpkin which we have cooked before with some carrots into the pot. It will basically just melt, and then we will mix it. And then it was Halloween, so I was obviously making the pumpkin. It was not easy. The only thing that my mom said to me to, you know, encourage me was, you're never gonna do it. So yeah, she's not the best at encouraging people, whatever. Because we made the chips, I obviously needed some sauce or something to dip them in. Actually, they were so much thinner and it couldn't really be dipped into anything. But anyways, I just put some tzatziki sauce into this mini bowl, the pumpkin puree that we made. It was so good. The color is like one of my favorite colors probably. And this was my table. I really do like it. I think it really was like Halloweeny, whatever. We also put some candles.